Thank you for attending Improving Warehouse Efficiency with the Power of Mobility and Actionable Analytics. I'm Chris Barnes with HighJump. Before we get into the session, we're going to go for about 25 minutes of content. We'll show some demonstration briefly at the end, and we'll have some time for Q&A at the end. All lines are muted. This is more of a flow presentation, so I like to keep the pace pretty quick. This session is being recorded, and you will be able to it'll either be sent to you or you can get a download of the webinar probably within 48 hours after today. And there is a questions box, so as we go through, please enter any questions. I've requested that questions be held until the end. As I said, it's more of a flow discussion just to get the key learning points across. But before I get into the content, let me just a brief background about me. Again, I'm Chris Barnes. That's me circa 1967. I am from this city in North America. I'm an industrial engineer from this university in Illinois in the States, and I also have a minor in economics. I have a MBA with emphasis in industrial organizational psychology, and I also have these certifications from this professional association. It's an international organization. And I'm also involved with Apex Atlanta local chapter and a nice supply chain thought leadership organization called Supply Chain Now Radio. I'm currently considered the warehouse guru, and but don't confuse me, Chris Barnes, with the lead singer from 6 Foot Under, or the Chris Barnes that's the #5 Pro Bowler in North America, or Chris Barnes who played Tanner Boyle in the Bad News Bears circa 1970s. If you're my friend on this organization, this networking organization, or this one, you will know that my motto is saving the world one warehouse at a time. I've written books on this topic, and I've presented to this many people on this topic, and I also enjoy helping people networking to enhance their professional careers. When I'm not doing all those things, I am Andrea's husband and Abby's father, and I'll let you decide which is which in the picture. Now back to the presentation. So as I mentioned, over probably the next 20-25 minutes, we're going to cover some core areas. The first is warehousing success factors. Why should you be looking at technology in the warehouse to begin with? Then at the end, I'm going to show a brief overview of the HighJump Warehouse Edge warehouse management system, just the user interface and some of the concepts that I'll be talking about. I'll show how those might apply. And then again, as I had mentioned, Q&A at the end, so please enter your questions and we'll answer those at the end. At a top level, there are 3 primary value drivers that you should realize from using WMS. The first is improved efficiencies around inventory utilization, labor productivity, and space utilization, and then improved customer service levels in the form of on-time and accurate deliveries, and being able to satisfy changing customer requirements. And the third is a real-time access to information to allow leadership to proactively manage the operations. Successful warehouse management is built on a foundation of reliable inventory information, or what I call inventory certainty. It is a combination of knowing how much inventory you have, where it is, if it's available, where it came from, and where it's going. In short, I call this 360-degree visibility of your information. With excellent inventory certainty, you can layer on real-time system updates in the form of capturing data at the point of use. This is done through scanning or voice inputs. No longer are you recording information on paper, stacking the paper in a box, and fat-fingering data into a computer. With point-of-use data capture, your information is fully synchronized with your physical inventory flows. This real-time data collection will also have built-in goof-proof tools to minimize mistakes, essentially serving as a QA check built into the workflow. And finally, you've built a solution with the tools to implement continuous improvement initiatives. There's an old adage in management: it's not what you expect that gets accomplished, it's what you inspect. To help run an effective operation, you should be measuring and managing against key performance indicators, or KPIs. While different facilities will have different metrics, a good place to start defining warehouse KPIs is the Work DC Metrics report by Georgia's own Dr. Carl Manrot. You can contact Dr. Carl direct for more information on this report at carl.manrot@gcsu.edu. And if you're measuring against these KPIs but not achieving these stated results, at least at the median level, investing in a WMS will help you. Next, we'll review example warehouse workflow improvements using HighJump WMS. On the inbound side, you should have multiple ways to receive inventory. For example, in this flow chart, you can see I receive product in from a truck, put it into temporary staging to get the dock clear, and then come back and put the product away into storage. Optionally, I could get a bit leaner and put the product away direct into storage from the initial receipt. This would eliminate a material touch, but may add to the carrier's dwell time. Also, if you are tracking back orders in the warehouse, before putting product away into storage, you can survey all the open back orders and move the product direct to an outbound staging area for easier picking to any open back order. Again, eliminating material touches. And you can also add product to a pallet, assign a license plate to that pallet, and then track all product moves against the license plate. This works well when you want to move multiple products around at the same time and store multiple lot numbers in the same bin. Additionally, you should also be able to receive against an advanced ship notice or ASN. Set up properly, this is very efficient and creates a one-scan receipt capability. If your business rules allow, you can receive product not on a PO and over-receive product on a PO, but up to a certain percent that you define. And depending on where you source your products, you may need the ability to efficiently receive mixed PO containers. As your warehouse becomes larger and begins to fill, it may be more difficult for material handlers to find empty bins to store product. If you find your operators driving around excessively, they are either moonlighting with Uber or searching for available storage bins. Either way, they are not providing value to your budget. You should see a labor productivity improvement using directed put-away functionality in the WMS. Directed put-away uses ladder logic to survey the warehouse for all available storage bins and then suggest the best bin to put the product away. Additionally, directed put-away will help you ensure product is stored in the appropriate environments, for example, hazmat, cold storage, and secured storage. This will help you reduce product spoilage from being stored in the wrong temperature, will help you reduce shrinkage associated to high-value product, and will help you maintain compliance with government regulations. On the outbound side, HighJump Warehouse Management System has a powerful order management and workload balancing tool built in to the order work center. In this flow here, you can see orders are downloaded from your ERP or your EDI system, or it can even be your e-commerce solution. As the orders come in, they are in a status of unallocated, meaning we haven't taken a survey of all the inventory in the warehouse to determine if there's enough inventory in the right pick bins to pick. If there are discrepancies within the system after we go through an allocation process, then the orders will be into possibly a held status, meaning that they're held short, there's not enough inventory in the warehouse. Held format means there's inventory, but it's in case quantity and we can only sell eaches. Or another one might be held replenishment, meaning there's enough inventory in the warehouse, it's just not in a pick bin, and we told the system that the operators can only pick product from pick bins. In that specific example, we would then go through a process called replenishment, where we move product from overstock into a pick bin. Once that inventory is moved, it goes through another background allocation process or reallocation process. And once everything's copacetic, all the orders that we've selected should be in ready to wave status, indicating that the orders are ready to be picked. Regarding picking, you should expect flexibility in the way you're able to pick your orders. Discrete order picking is the most common and the easiest to implement and manage. Essentially, one picker works on one order until complete. Using discrete picking, you should target 50 to 80 lines per hour per picker. Batch pick helps reduce travel time by grouping line item picks from multiple orders together. If one item goes to 4 orders, enough of the item for all 4 orders is picked in aggregate while the person's standing at the bin. The items are then sorted at a subsequent process, maybe a pack station. With effective batch picking, you should be able to pick from 75 to 200 lines per hour per picker, depending on your average order size and batch size. A variation on batch pick is cluster picking. However, this time the operator will take multiple cartons, one for each order, on a cart and put the product into each carton as it's being picked. This minimizes average travel time per pick, but adds complexity to the pick process. With cluster picking, you can target up to 75 to 200 lines per hour per picker, depending on the cluster size and the layout of your pick zones. This is an example of the cluster pick carts for two different customers. The one on the left, you can see you can pick up to 18 orders at the same time. The one on the right allows you to pick up to 9 orders simultaneously. Notice on the left, they are picking to the actual shipping cartons, and on the right, they are picking to a tote, indicating a subsequent repack process will need to occur. Another pick strategy, zone picking, has multiple pickers processing picks from either assigned zones in the area for the same order, then moving the items from a pack station where they are consolidated into a shipping case. This might help if you're picking large Amazon orders with short delivery lead times, where you can pick in parallel rather than in series. With basic zone picking, you can get from 100 to 150 lines per hour per picker. Pick workflows can also be combined. For example, with a batch pick forward pick strategy, one or multiple pickers gather products from bin locations, then move the product to forward pick bins. The orders are then picked from the forward pick bins. With this approach, you can pick 100 to 200 lines per hour per picker. Having flexible picking options found in a good WMS will allow you to set up a warehouse within a warehouse. In this concept, case quantities are picked from bulk or flow racks, and each is picked from smaller bin shelving. This will allow you to get more picks in a smaller area, resulting in faster order throughput, reduced pick errors, and overall better labor productivity. And having these smaller areas is generally easier to manage. You heard me reference forward picking. This is typically work done in combination with reserve storage. A smaller volume of inventory is in easily accessible bins, forward pick, with the excess stock in remote bins, reserve storage. This could be done by placing forward pick bins on the lower levels of selective racks, with all overhead selective rack bins used for reserve storage. Visit a Lowe's or a Home Depot store to get the idea of how this type of storage might work. When the forward pick bins reach a minimum defined inventory level, a replenishment from reserve storage to the forward pick bins needs to occur to keep things productive. One final topic on flexible picking options is hands-free picking. Whatever you can do to free the picking operator's hands and allow them to focus on the pick workflow, you will see a benefit. For example, voice picking is a proven hands-free solution that should not only improve pick labor productivity, but also improve pick accuracy. While voice picking applications can be implemented as standalone solutions, having a WMS with an integrated voice picking module will provide you with more options. To see voice pick in action and a high-level comparison to scanning, check out the brief 5-minute video on YouTube, Voice Picking versus RF Scanning by Vitech Business Group, a HighJump company. The next evolution is people-free picking. In this case, automation in the form of robots are used for specific processes in a warehouse. For example, Putaway moving or picking products in the warehouse. Robots will play a large role in the warehouse of the future due to declining availability for labor and the flexibility provided by robots versus traditional fixed automation like conveyors, sorters, and automated storage systems. This type of automation, and to check out this type of automation in action, you can go onto YouTube, search on Pick by Robot Warehouse Automation, and look for anything associated to Magazino. You should also have flexible shipping options to help manage different types of orders. For example, using HighJump Warehouse Management System with the fully integrated HighJump Ship solution, you can pre-print a parcel carrier ship label, apply the label to a shipping carton, pick the order, tape the carton, then place the carton at the parcel shipping dock. Once the order is picked, WMS system ships the order from WMS, and the shipment uploads to ERP. The order will no longer appear in the WMS Order Work Center. This approach helps eliminate product touches as the carton does not need to be weighed and an operator does not have to interface with a formal ship station. Optionally, anyone with a mobile device, such as an RF scanner, can become a ship station. In this example, an order can be shipped from any mobile device, for example, the RF scanner itself. This workflow allows the user to enter carton weight information and/or define a specific carton type. When the carton is scanned for shipment, the shipping labels and document print for easy matching to the order, and the WMS updates the ERP with a shipment confirmation. Or you can continue to ship from a formal pack ship station using the HighJump Ship workstation. This is often helpful for larger than parcel shipments where the user needs to do specific rate shopping or needs to add additional shipment data, for example, freight classes. It's also helpful when managing international shipments where shipment data can be missing from the order and needs to be manually updated. With the fully integrated HighJump Ship solution, order information for picked orders is seamlessly moved into the ship system where the user has full control of the shipment. At the workstation, the user has the mobility to make tweaks to the shipment, for example, add pro bill numbers, add bill of lading numbers, modify carton information, add international shipping information, etc. Once the order is shipped, all labels and shipment documentation prints and then can be matched to the order. This order shipment updates the WMS, which in turn updates your ERP. As a final topic, when discussing anything to do with the warehouse, it is difficult not to mention Amazon and the impact they are having on the industry. If you're fortunate or unfortunate, depending on your perspective, to be working with Amazon, you're probably aware of the operational challenges to remain compliant. But fear not, there are ways a good WMS can help you. Amazon Seller Fulfillment Prime provides the benefits of selling through Amazon while leveraging your existing distribution expertise and potentially retaining additional margins. However, the Seller Fulfillment Prime requirements can quickly erode those additional margins. Seller Prime requires shipping using Amazon carriers, rates, and labels. To get this information typically means incorporating the Seller Central portal into your workflows. In other words, additional labor requirements. For example, to ship an Amazon Prime order, once the order is picked, you will need to go to the Seller Central portal, maybe on a dedicated workstation, and then select Buy Shipping, enter or update order shipping information, select the best service type, select the label format you want to use, then buy and confirm the shipping, download and print the shipping label, and apply the labels to the shipping carton. Most of this is extra work for you. Alternatively, using the fully integrated HighJump WMS and HighJump Ship solutions, you'll be able to incorporate the Seller Central interface into your standard pick, pack, and ship workflow, essentially allowing you to automatically communicate with the Seller Central and bring back the preferred ship info, all seamless to the user with minimal workflow impacts. Next, we'll take a look at where HighJump WMS fits with your ERP and show the HighJump Warehouse Edge user interface. This is an example of a system architecture or a system blueprint where you can see if you're already using an ERP, for example, Sage today, you'll continue to do that. The processes in the top are what we would focus on in terms of inbound purchase orders, and your vendor information will remain on the top, so the supply information will come in through your ERP, and that downloads to everything in the bottom box, which is the Warehouse Edge solution. So the Warehouse Edge is a separate database. It's finely tuned to help optimize the high transaction volumes typically found in the warehouse. On the outbound side, same thing occurs. Sales orders and customer information comes in through your Sage or your ERP environment. That information then downloads into the warehouse management system. We do all the picking, packing, and shipping. Once that information is ship confirmed, we then load it back up into your ERP solution. On the inventory side, if you wanted to know exactly where the product was in the warehouse, you would look in the WMS. We can also do cycle counts, and this is where we're managing the replenishments. If there are inventory adjustments made to a product in the warehouse, then that adjustment, be it plus or minus, feeds back up to Sage or your ERP, where then you can also track aggregate level inventories plus inventory valuations, again, at the ERP level. So that just gives you an idea of where we fit. So now let me jump over a bit and show you a little bit of the user interface in terms of the warehouse management system. So I'm logged in now to the HighJump Warehouse Edge solution. First thing you can see is we have this one set up. These are all configurable. We have this one set up with you heard me talk about a KPI. These are KPIs we felt were important maybe for a managerial level. So I log in and I see the first thing I can see is a control tower. This shows me how many orders that I have being picked, for example, how many orders are in that ready to wave status. You heard me talk about the allocations flow. It gives me visibility into other things, for example, maybe where I'm shipping my products to. I can easily come in and kind of narrow down into specific regions. Again, just trying to get anything that's realistic to your business. I can look at the receipt types by vendor on the right-hand side. I can also look at the top 20 orders by lines, but these are just example KPIs that we have set up. The thing about the KPIs, you can use the ones we have when you buy the software, or you can create your own with the basic SQL query capability. Our solution comes with about 40 to 45 standard KPIs, but from my experience, most operations prefer to have their own. One of the things we have with these KPIs is they're called actionable analytics, meaning that you can see the KPI here, and you can quickly drill down into more information. So on this one here, for example, I see I've got 6 orders that are ready to wave. You heard me talk earlier about the order work center. This is that view into, I've clicked through, I saw those 6 orders. What do they look like? What do I need to do to those in my warehouse, for example? So now I can go in, it's navigating me into my order work center. So now this is my view of seeing all the products and all the orders I have in my warehouse and how they can be managed. You can see these are all the orders that are ready to wave. It shows different levels of visibility. Each one of these columns represents data from our database. I believe there are columns that you can add and tweak, so you can see all the columns that we have turned on or turned off. Anything with a checkbox is something, information is visible. You can see we have a lot of data that's turned off. In total, we have about 315 different data fields that you can expose specifically on this order work center itself. So this is all filtered on the data for ready to wave. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to do a refilter of my queue here, so it shows me I have 6 orders that are ready to wave. I'm going to basically clear that filter and see how many total orders I have that have been downloaded. So now I can easily see it's gone. I'm looking in the lower right-hand corner. It went from, I think it was 6 orders we had. Now it's 28 total orders that are in various stages in my warehouse. So you can see there's one here that's unallocated. If we remember from our prior workflow discussion, that tells me that order hasn't gone through the allocation process. I have a couple here that are held replenishment. If you recall, those need to be taken for their action. So on that one, what I can do is see exactly what's holding up that specific order. So this is the header level detail. It shows me it's pack slip 1244. If I wanted to see more specifically what's the line level detail associated to that order, I just do another click through. It shows me the line is associated to it's held replenishment here. If I wanted to see a little bit more around what that specific line is, I can click through and it's going to show me the specific products associated to that line and kind of why I can't pick it. It shows me it's in this bin, and I've determined that I can't pick from that's overstock. But it gives me the ability to see more specifically what the product is, where it came from, where it's going to. I'm going to click on that product number there. It's going to drive me to another product work center. This one's helpful to have. It shows me information on the product. So I've got the how much the quantity I have in total on hand, how many is on a sales order, how many are on a purchase order. So again, back to that 360-degree visibility, it kind of shows me everything that's happening. If I wanted to maybe to see specifically what POs are associated to this product number or what sales orders are associated to it. So here I can see every bin that it's in the warehouse. I can come over here and see exactly any open order lines. I don't know, it's like I got 3 orders that are associated to that product, and anything on a receipt line. Do I have any of this product coming in? It looks like I have 1 product on a purchase order if I wanted to get that moved in. So that's kind of that, as I talked about before, that 360-degree visibility, inventory certainty, and that's complemented by our actionable analytics solution. Again, all of this is supported, you can see in the HTML format. So the future of the WMS is all mobility. So you can do something on a workstation, such as I'm doing here. You can do this on a tablet. You can do it on a hybrid, the tablet computer, laptop hybrids. Cell phones are also very popular. So any device, anytime, anywhere. And it's also browser agnostic. So depending on which browser you prefer, which browser your IT staff has you guys working on, it should be accessed through any type of browser. So you can work on it from anywhere. You can even watch TV and be working on it while you're at home. So that's kind of a high-level overview, just kind of what the solution is. Now I'll navigate back and we can wrap up with our presentation. So in summary, You can see there, again, there are 3 value propositions associated to the solution. As I said, there's improved efficiencies around inventory utilization, labor productivity, and space utilization. There's improved customer service levels in the form of on-time and accurate deliveries and being able to satisfy changing customer requirements, because your customers are probably going to be even more demanding of you as e-commerce proliferates. And then finally, real-time access to information to allow your leadership to proactively manage change and manage your customers' evolutions. And as a possible 4th benefit for purchasing WMS, you too may become a warehouse guru. That concludes the session for today. We're open to any questions, criticisms, or cannonballs, or other thoughts that you might have. But I appreciate your time. Let me see if we have any questions. It's well, I'll just answer one quick here. I think is in the interest of time. The question is, what ERP does this work with? Well, you heard me mention briefly that it's pretty much ERP agnostic, and that's all part of the interface infrastructure. So we're making it very easy to interface. But we do have a historically standard interface with most of the Sage suite of solutions, but it also works with other NetSuite's SAP Business One, the Microsoft Dynamics channels. But we do have standard interfaces for all of the market-leading small business ERP solutions, so it shouldn't be any issues. So thank you for your time. I appreciate your attention today. I know you've got other things you can do. If you have any questions, please contact your BAASS representative or reach out to Graham Whiteman at HighJump, 800-328-3271, or graham.whiteman@highjump.com. Thank you.